And the keeper of the prison, awaking out of his sleep, and seeing the prison doors open, he drew his sword and was about to kill himself, supposing that the prisoners had fled. But Paul cried in a loud voice, saying, "Do not harm thyself, we are all here." And then he called for a light, and he sprung in, and he came trembling. So remember, that's the prison guard who put chains on them. He come there trembling. And he fell before Paul and Silas, and brought them out and said, "Sirs, what must I do to be saved?" And they said, "Believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, and thou shalt be saved, you and your house." So what's the most important thing I want you to learn about opposition? This is number 5. The most important thing I want you to learn or never forget is that you have a job. And your job is to bring others to Christ. And that's what we see here. As bad as this prison officer had treated them, he chained them up. Remember, they had just been beaten, so they were bleeding. They were naked and bleeding. And instead of taking care of them, he chained them up. He put them in the middle of the prison. But yet, when he was about to kill himself, they saved him and brought him to Christ. And that's what I want you to always remember. When dealing with the ops, when dealing with the haters, when dealing with the people at your job, your job is not to hate your job. Your job definitely ain't to walk off your job. Your job is to bring others to Christ. So God bless you and bless us, guys, protect us. And in all things, the Heavenly Father, to help us to love our neighbor as ourselves, even if our neighbor is a hater. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
The views expressed on this program are not the views of ZNS TV 13 and, by extension, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
This is the Caribbean, a region known for its stunning beauty and vibrant culture, but also for being among the most vulnerable to the impacts of a changing climate. 2024 is predicted to be a year of climate extremes, a hyperactive Atlantic hurricane season, and early onset of an intense heat season.
When you combine humidity and heat, that is where our bodies get stressed very easily. That is not just human bodies, that is also most living beings, whether it's crops that farmers grow, livestock, whether that is the environment. Heat is becoming dangerous.
The impacts of climate change and climate variability on the Caribbean are becoming increasingly severe.
At the Lyndon Bindling International Airport, I'm Corvell Pyfrom. This is ZNS.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the weekend edition, a vigorous national campaign launched to reduce the rise in sexually transmitted diseases. A raging fire in Abaco, now contained in sports. The Bahamas falls short of its Beach Soccer World Cup appearance. The Bahamas tonight, the weekend edition starts now. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. Good evening, I'm Desmond Saunders. Thanks for joining us. Health officials ramping up its national education campaign throughout the school system to educate students about the dangers of unprotected sexual intercourse, the rise in the recent number of confirmed cases of chlamydia, a major concern for health officials. Director of the National HIV/AIDS Program, Dr. Nakia Forbes.
This program is a true partnership between the Ministry of Health and Wellness and the Ministry of Education. And what was selected was appropriate school age to when this stuff could be introduced. And that's at and around grade 6, but it's also in high schools at certain scheduled grades. It has a curriculum. It has a multi-module curriculum, is what I can share with you, that goes into HIV and STI prevention. And if you look that up, focus on youth, you will see that this program, it's also in collaboration with researchers and physicians and public health scientists that work in the United States.
Now, there were 131 laboratory-confirmed cases of chlamydia February this year, a significant surge from previous months. According to the data, the most affected age groups are those 15 to 19 years and 20 to 24 years. Dr. Forbes now advising residents to get tested and practice safe sex.
In the case of where there are symptoms, here is what the person could be experiencing. In the case of chlamydia, there's pain during urination. There's abnormal discharge from the vagina or the penis or the rectum, and there can be lower abdominal pain. In the case of gonorrhea, these are the similar symptoms, but they can also cause pain and swelling in the testicles or pelvic pain in women. Syphilis starts as a painless sore. It then progresses, that sore will go away. It then progresses to rashes, lymph node or gland swelling, and at later stages, it can be very serious. It can affect the organs of the body, including the heart and the brain. It is a very serious infection if untreated.
That large bushfire that has been raging in the Treasure Key Abaco area for over a week now, searing acres of land and emitting thick smoke across the vicinity, has now been contained. Family Island Administrator for North Abaco, Stephen Wilson, says that volunteers are currently working with the government to secure firefighting equipment to enhance the island's preparedness and response capabilities to combat future emergencies.
My understanding now is under some control by voluntary firefighters. I know they are asking for more equipment to assist them, and I've asked them to supply us with enough so we could forward those on to the government for consideration, or anybody else who is willing to assist in that regard.
Now, while the fire is contained to the Treasure Key area, Smith says that officials are urging residents to exercise caution as they maneuver.
It's only affecting the Treasure Key area and pockets of the Treasure Key area. The persons, they have the persons where the smoke is emanating. They have the houses enclosed. The windows are tightened up. You can't leave your door and nothing open, and it has a negative effect because you have school children in the morning time have to be going to school and they have to inhale all this type of that. So it has a negative aspect to an extent, but we're trying the best we can with the little resources that we have. So we just ask them persons to use all precautionary measures to secure themselves from this smoke.
Well, this just in, nearly 50 police officers living in government-assisted housing have been served eviction notices by the nation's top cop, Commissioner of Police Shanton Knowles. A move sparked criticism from the Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard, who argues that some officers have lived in these accommodations for over a decade. Our Shalia Rowe from the Northern Service News Desk on the story tonight.
We are asking the Ministry of National Security to have a heart and design a plan that will deal with officers based on their individual circumstances.
Despite an official 5-year policy on housing for police officers in the back-of-town area of Grand Bahama, some officers remain in these residences for more than a decade, some even exceeding 20 years. However, Commissioner of Police Shanton Knowles has recently issued eviction notices to those who have overstayed their allotted time. Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard is now weighing in on the issue, calling Minister of National Security Wayne Monroe to reconsider and withdraw the eviction orders.
We believe that the Ministry of National Security should immediately withdraw that letter so that they are able to address what will be a housing crisis for officers.
When officers were initially granted housing, contracts stipulated a 5-year occupancy limit, but Pintard argues that these eviction notices should be reviewed on a case-by-case basis rather than applied universally.
The challenge that they are having is that some officers who are occupying those residences have been there for a longer time than they have intended, then they should identify that group of officers and then look at what circumstances had forced them to be in housing for this period of time.
Given these circumstances, Prince Art is urging authorities to rethink the eviction plan and instead introduce a rent-to-own program allowing officers to purchase the homes they have maintained. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Shalia Roll.
Now, we can tell you we contacted Commissioner of Police Shanta Knowles for a response to this story. While she was unable to provide a full statement before news time, she assures our team that a response to this matter is forthcoming. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Weekend Edition. There's more after this.
Whether you're crossing borders or navigating busy airports, with BTC's reliable data roaming, you're always in touch. In a fast-paced world, staying connected is key. Don't miss important moments. Stay connected effortlessly with BTC, wherever your journey takes you.
Bahamas Merit Scholarship is a major feat and a dream come true for Bahamian students who seek to pursue a tertiary education. Shakaden Wells, the 2024 winner, tells us what the achievement means to him.
It means the world, honestly. It shows that I have the backing of the Bahamian government here, and that's extremely important to me, especially since the Bahamas is the place that I call home and the place that all of my family calls home, and it's where I want to see the greatest change come from me.
The scholar gives us a snippet of the steps that contribute to his success.
Definitely schedule making is one of the main things that I use in college now. Mapping out the amount of time you want to spend doing certain homeworks, trying to get all your homework done within the allotted time. Because in high school, in Queens College, there's a zero lateness policy. So that definitely helps reinforce the deadline in university. When I was going through high school, there were so many times when I asked my mom for help or asked my teachers for guidance or asked questions to my friends. And those kind of things are what I do now in university. I still call my mom about certain questions. Even though she might not be able to help me, she could just help my spirit a little bit, calm down a little bit. I still ask my roommate to this day about questions in physics or chemistry or whatever subject that he can help me with, and vice versa.
And he gives advice to all students.
You can do anything that you set your mind to. A lot of people sometimes believe that some of your goals that you set can be a little bit far-fetched. But I believe that if you pray and put in the hard work and rely on those around you, that every single person under the sound of my voice can find success.
I'm Adama Williams for Ed Talk.
Portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, where safety is first.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. The Bahamas joined the international community in observing World Consumer Rights Day, observed annually March 15th. The celebrations are marked with events and exhibitions focusing on consumer rights and protection. Daniel Dean tells us more.
From the Bahamas Agriculture and Marine Science Institute's freshly made cucumber salads to honey harvested right at home by 242B Masters. And last but certainly not least, organic cage-free eggs from Bahamian family-owned company Essential Farms.
Essential Farms started approximately in May. It originally was a hobby. My father had a few chickens, and we decided to turn what was a hobby into a full-time business. We had seen that the price of eggs had continuously rose, so all of these eggs were laid in the last 24 to 48 hours. So this ensures that Bahamian consumers receive the freshest eggs. They know exactly where they're coming from, right here in Nassau.
A carton going for just $5.50. Minister of State for the Environment, the Honorable Zane Lightbourne, thrilled to see local companies like Essential Farms thrive.
For us to be able to produce our own eggs, I've met the Essential Farms group, who have shown that they can produce 1,500 eggs, I think, in one day. And so this is awesome.
Also hard at work to provide Bahamians quality, healthy products at reasonable prices, Natasha Ramming of 242 Bee Masters, another family business. The full beekeeping company had a setup of bees, wax and honey at the World Consumers Day exhibition at the Consumers Affairs and Consumer Protection Commission building.
It takes so much for bees to get one little drop of honey. You can't do that. You have to know when it's time to harvest the honey, when the cells are properly capped off. And bees they do the perfect work. They do everything. The hives are clean. They keep their hives very clean naturally. They're strong, they're resilient. They cap over, and we know by looking at it when it's time then to harvest. Once we would have extracted the honey from the comb, at 242 Bee Masters, we have a natural process because we have all this beautiful sun, all this heat that we complain about in June, right? But we utilize that and we naturally melt the wax in proper containers, and we melt the comb, in those proper containers, and that's what produces the beeswax.
Minister Lightbourne discussed the possibility of introducing garbage bins meant specifically for recycling.
This is kind of difficult to really implement to persons who have generated a habit of just tossing their waste in the garbage, so it takes a level of discipline. So we're going to need also our local people to understand that our country and sustainability, our country is not a government initiative. It is not just a private sector initiative, it's an everybody initiative.
Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
A fiery celebration of Caribbean culture during the final night of the Nassau Paradise Island Wine and Food Festival. Devontae Hanna with the highlights.
As the sun set over beautiful Nassau Harbor, the Nassau Paradise Island Wine and Food Festival got into full swing, bringing together food lovers, chefs, and music enthusiasts from all over the world to experience the bold and spicy flavors of jerk cooking.
The jerk sauce is my great Auntie Lane's jerk sauce from Barbados. There's a little bit of my twist on it, but it has a little bit of heat, a little bit of sweetness, and I like to coat it on the back of fish. We marinated it for 2 days. We're searing it really hard, and it's going to come out really nice.
That celebrity chef and host for the night, J.J. Johnson, who spiced things up with a succulent jerk snapper paired with a papaya corn salsa over a bed of rice. His dish was only one of the standouts. Festival goers were treated to an array of jerk dishes, from tender jerk chicken to smoky jerk pork and even rasta pasta. A true fusion of flavors was the Poop Deck's dim sum, which packed a powerful kick with their homemade hot sauce.
Like you said, the hot sauce was kicking, man. You know what? It's just starting to kick in for you, man. You're just starting to get hit with that.
But what's the festival without the drinks? Wine, beers, and classic cocktails were all on display, like gin and juice by Dre and Snoop.
We're very excited to launch our still gin. It's vacuum distillate, so the botanicals are not overly cooked, which really allows us to showcase a lot of these botanicals. Makes it really easy to drink in a cocktail. It's something like really unique and different.
And if you were torn on soaking it up or adding to it, the festival had just what you needed: rum cake, and lots of it.
The rum cake's obviously something from the Caribbean. This is the original Bahamian rum cake using old Nassau Americano rum. Bahamian rum. We manufacture 14 flavors of cakes. People come to it, taste it, they want to buy it, they want to carry it home, they want to get more.
And it wasn't just about the food. The Jerk Jam also came alive with the sounds of the high-level band and two-time Grammy Award winner, Shaggy. As visitors and locals alike sank their toes in the sand and danced, it was clear the festival was a celebration of not just flavor, but culture. This year's Jerk Jam proved that food, culture, and community are a recipe for success. The festival closes today. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Devontae Hanna.
Well, Devontae had a great time. I had a blast. Hats off to the organizers. Well, big performances hitting the stage last night to close out the 19th annual Bahamian Music and Heritage Festival in Georgetown, Exuma. Our star reporter, Corval Pyfrom, was in the midst of everything. Here's his report.
A thick crowd burning the midnight oil once again on the final night of the 19th annual Bahamian Music and Heritage Festival. On this grand finale night, wild horses couldn't drive them away. They were here and weren't going anywhere until the man of the hour took the stage. Making his first appearance at the festival in more than a decade, legendary artist KB.
Exuma, man. Exuma is my favorite island. Just like you know, my favorite. So it's a joy to be here, man. A lot of friends out here. I spend a lot of time here and I'm with the Ego Trip Band. We spend a lot of time working up at Gaudy's Palace in Williamstown.
Other acts taking the stage included Nishi Ellis, Exuma's own Jammin' Ramming, and recording sensation Ebony 242.
It was awesome. I love the crowd performance. Listen, it's always good to be back in Exuma.
The night also included Junkadoo, with Exuma MP Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper getting right into the thick of things, joining the Crusaders group for their rush around the site. Rika C hosted both nights of the fest.
The energy level of both nights was amazing, and it's still amazing right now. As you can see, the crowd is definitely loving each and every one of the artists that are here tonight. I'm loving it. It's always a privilege to get on a stage and represent my Bahamian artists.
Entertainment coordinator with the Ministry of Tourism, Alex Christie, sums up the weekend as follows.
The celebration of our heritage and music on the stage tonight represents everything that we're trying to execute at the Ministry of Tourism. And so when you come down here on this site, you understand everything that I'm trying to explain. The beautiful talent we have on the stage. Listen, this concert this weekend was so amazing.
And the Saturday night rolled into Sunday morning, bringing an end to this year's Bahamian Music and Heritage Festival. Tourism officials are dubbing this year's fest a success and already predicting that next year's will be nothing short of spectacular. In Georgetown, Exuma, for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corval Pyfrom.
Thanks, Corval. ZNS Total Sports is up next. Stay with us.
We're here at the Nassau Village Community Center project, where over the past 17 months, we've hired over 20 Bahamian subcontractors to bring this beautiful project to fruition.
I've been living in Nassau Village for more than 19 years, and to see a project like this bring great joy and pride to me.
This state-of-the-art multi-purpose community center will serve as a crime-fighting initiative in the community, also help with the education of our kids in this community, and a hurricane shelter.
Yeah, and it also shows what we as Bahamians can achieve when we work hand in hand with each other.
We have the technical know-how, and we can pretty much deliver on any project here in the Bahamas or in the world.
Bahamas Stripe and the Bahamian Company, they prove that they believe in Bahamians.
Based on the outcome of this project, I don't think they're disappointed in giving a small person an opportunity to do a job such as this.
The more opportunity they get, the more opportunity we will get.
If you look around and see the work done so far, it just shows what we as Bahamians can do.
Is the Little Caesars Stuffed Crust Pizza. Get more pizza for less money. Only $12. It's a whole new level of pizza with cheese stuffed crust so spectacular that there's nothing left.
Pizza.
A delicious pepperoni pizza with the crust stuffed with lots of cheese and brushed with butter and garlic flavor and sprinkled with Parmesan cheese. Hot and ready Thursday to Saturday between 4 and 8 for only $12. Simply irresistible. And only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Here at Immigration Care Service, you can trust us, especially if you have experienced issues or problems with the U.S. immigration at the borders. We'll do our best to provide options and solutions to immigration roadblocks, so travelers can continue visiting the U.S. and residents can continue living their lives in the U.S. without worries. The best part? Our services are affordable and accessible. Take the mystery, confusion, and fear out of your immigration concerns. Contact Immigration Care Service today.
diet-friendly special.
Welcome to your Sunday Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. The Bahamas falling 1 goal shy of making their first ever beach soccer World Cup. This is Guatemala advancing to the 2025 CONCACAF Beach Soccer Championship final this evening, earning a 3-2 win against the Junkanoo Boys last night at the Malcolm Park Beach Soccer Stadium. The victory marks an historic occasion as Guatemala will make their first World Cup appearance. For the 2-4-2, Wajumas would score for the Bahamas in the second period to begin the comeback effort from a direct free kick. Brandon Adderley with the bicycle kick with 20 seconds left in the second to equalize things for the host country and set up a winner-take-all situation in the closing stretch. But Pablo Crocker broke the deadlock late in the third, striking this right-footed hit off the volley for the match winner. Again, Guatemala beating the Bahamas 3-2 and sealing the fate of the Junkanoo Boys.
It was a good fight to the end, but we gave us some early chances, and then we had to fight back to get back in the game. And then when we got in the game, we had our own chances, but we didn't put them away. So when you don't put away your chances, that's what happens. So end of the day, we fought out. We left it all on the field today, and we just fall short.
I think the team was ready, but we had a slow start. And I think that cost us because we were chasing the game the whole time. And once we got it, we had a lot of chances. We had at least 3 clear chances, hit the post, and could have taken the lead. But, you know, that's sports, man. Sometimes, you know, at least I'm proud of the team. They gave it all. They left everything on the field. And, you know, we just didn't finish our chances. And that's like I said, that's sports.
From the association, Buddy Hield climbing to number 16 on the NBA's all-time three-pointers made list, surpassing fellow Bahamian and national team teammate Eric Gordon. Hield achieving this milestone this week as his Golden State Warriors would take down the Portland Trail Blazers 130-120. Hield finishing 6 of 9 from behind the arc, bringing his career total to 2,089. Remarkably, Hield reached the 16th spot in less than 700 games. Next up for Buddy and the Warriors, a big showdown with the Denver Nuggets. And on a somber note, the country mourning the passing of one of its premier boat builders as Lauren Llewellyn Knowles passing away today in Mangrove Bush, Long Island at the age of 87. Of course, he is the father of Stephen Knowles, one of the country's premier sailors. We'll have more information on his passing for you in tomorrow's Sportscast. As we look at your sports on this Sunday, a check on weather when we return.
Hi, I'm Brent Burrows, Vice President of Retail and Sales at CBS Bahamas and the CBS Pro Store. Not only do we guarantee the best prices on all your favorite building materials, we're proud to offer the best delivery program in all of Nassau. Whether you buy 1 box of screws or a truckload of plywood, island-wide delivery is just $5. And for our Family Island customers, we're proud to offer complimentary drop-off to the mailboat of your choice. Visit us today at the CBS Pro Store on Robinson Road and check out our website to set up your next delivery.
Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we have been in Exuma now for the past 4 years, carrying out our paving program. A part of our company's philosophy is to do some work to international standards. So when you look at our paving division, we have a state-of-the-art lab to do all of our testing in-house, as well as a state-of-the-art asphalt plant with a trained technician carrying out the work on that site. The overarching goal of our company is to produce the work that we're doing in the entire Bahamas to international standards. We also make a difference by the training of our staff. We have a very intensive training program going on to where we are teaching our young men and how to learn the art of striping. Being a young man myself, I've made mistakes in the past. I was given a second chance to better my life, and it's only fitting that to be passed along. What's important for us is giving them a second chance for them to get a skill and a career that could take them further in life.
Keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. God, it's good enough to eat and it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat and it's good to grow.
The Bahamas Department of Correctional Services is now home to 100 new feathered residents, layer hens donated by the Department of Agriculture. Additionally, the department donated a number of agricultural supplies to the facility. Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources Jomo Campbell says the goal of this initiative is part of the government's broader push for food security and self-sufficiency.
Today's donation is a part of an even broader strategy. By equipping bee dogs with egg-laying chickens and agricultural resources, we are not only reducing the cost burden on the taxpayers, but are also creating a sustainable food source within the institution. This will help ease the financial strain that the Commissioner mentioned associated with feeding inmates.
The initiative was welcome news to National Security Minister Wayne Monroe, who says he's hoping that the facility can also assist with the ongoing Golden Youth Program.
Mr. Campbell, we've already looked at where that house could be. It could be a part of the Golden Youth. We've already looked at it. Mr. Clare has scoped it out. There's more than enough space. And if you look at all of the construction going on there, we have some of the best contractors, I think 3 of them, who were with us for a while. And so, I don't want to say I'm ungrateful for the 100, but we will be coming back to try and be a part of that Golden Yoke program.
Officials say this donation provides an opportunity for rehabilitation. Minister Campbell says the Department of Agriculture will also provide technical expertise to ensure the program's success. Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Kendia Smith.
Time now for a check on tonight's weather forecast. Diane Dorsett joins us in studio with the latest temperatures. Good evening, Diane.
Hey Desmond, let's take a look at weather on this fabulous Sunday evening. Now we have partly cloudy skies with a temperature of 82 degrees. The humidity stands at 65% and the pressure is 1,019.4 millibars or 30.09 inches. Now looking at temperatures across our beautiful family islands. In the Northwest Bahamas, we're seeing temperatures in the low 80s, high 70s. In the Central Bahamas, warm temperatures in the 80s with Fresh Creek Central Andrews at 81 degrees and Camp Space South Andrews and Black Point Exuma at 83 degrees. Things down south are not much different with Arthurstown, Cat Island, San Salvador and Rum Key and Georgetown Exuma at 82 degrees. And for those in the southeast Bahamas, including the Turks and Caicos Islands, we're looking at mostly low 80s, but Auckland's at 76 degrees. Now, if you're heading out on the water tonight, here's what you need to know. The Northwest Bahamas will experience winds southeast to south at 12 to 18 knots, with seas around 3 to 6 feet. The next high tide will be at 10:18 tonight. Those in the central and southeast Bahamas expect southeast winds at 15 to 20 knots, with choppy seas at 4 to 7 feet. Small crafts should exercise caution throughout the islands. Looking ahead to tomorrow, winds in the Northwest Bahamas will shift south to southwest at 10 to 15 knots, but as a cold front moves in, expect a shift to northwest winds at 15 to 20 knots. Seas will get roughed in the afternoon, reaching 5 to 8 feet, so a small craft advisory will go into effect. High tide will be at 10:31 a.m. and low tide at 4:40 p.m. For the central and southeast Bahamas, winds will once again shift southeast to south at 10 to 15 knots, with calmer seas between 2 to 4 feet. Now, our latest satellite image shows a cold front moving into northern Florida, and that system will bring showers and isolated thunderstorms to the northwest Bahamas by tomorrow morning. Spreading further south in the afternoon, this front will also bring cooler temperatures, with nighttime lows dipping into the upper 50s and low 60s by Friday. If you want to know what to expect tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy skies with a mild low of 73 degrees. Tomorrow, though, expect cloudy skies, scattered showers, and isolated thunderstorms along the frontal boundary. It will also bring breezy and cooler winds with a high of 83 degrees. For the next 7 days, cool and breezy conditions will stick around through Friday. It won't be the best week for beaching or boating, but it's perfect for outdoor activities. Expect daytime temperatures in the mid to upper 70s and nighttime lows in the upper 50s to mid 60s. So keep those umbrellas handy tomorrow, but enjoy refreshing cooler air as we head into the weekend. Desmond?
Well, good weather wrap up there, Diane. That ends the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information, as only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team, thanks for watching. Have a good night, and we'll see you back here tomorrow night.
At Bahama Boulevard, I'm Sean Innes. This is ZNS.